What's up, y'all, and welcome back to, I would say, another review, but this is kind of after the show of Many Thoughts with Dr. T. I hope y'all are doing good. I hope y'all had a good fourth, was able to relax a little bit, eat some good cookout food and whatnot. As y'all can see, I got my braids out. Okay. So I'm gonna be in my wig bag for a little bit. Um, so I work from home now, right? But when I used to go into the office, it was always funny because when I do wigs, like I change them frequently. I might wear a style for maybe 2 or 3 weeks and then I'll just have something like completely different. And some of the people, I'm talking about what kind of people, they would just always feel the need to like comment on my hairstyles. You know what I'm saying? Unsolicited. I'm there doing my work. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they would be like, I like your style, but I like the one you had on last week. And I'm just like, and whenever I hear that, I take it as a personal challenge. So I'm like, okay, well now I gotta wear this for like 3 months straight. Cause you're not gonna tell me you're not gonna dictate my hairstyle. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, wig Nisha is back. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in the wig flow, but I'm feeling at least the end of the year because I told you I'm trying to grow my hair back from my short style, so I can start getting sew-ins and things like that. So we'll see. But I do enjoy being able to switch it up though. It's a lot of fun. My 2-year-old and my 10-month-old, they're not really sure what's happening. They're like, is it really you? Is this a long lost sister you haven't told us about? Like, let us know what's happening. Especially my 10-month-old. I don't know if I want you to pick me up because I don't know if that's you. But yeah, I mean, I might have I had a braided one on yesterday. I had the curly joint. I had no wig on last night. So they don't know what's going on. So y'all pray for my kids, okay? But anyway, the reason why I came on here, y'all, is because evidently Jay, so y'all remember Never Miss, Jay, which is the really tall one that was dating Cinco, Tatiana, which is the one who was with Clay, and Kiki, the one that was with Brandon. They've started a podcast called Two Sugars, One Shot. Okay. I'm guessing the one shot is Kiki. They just started it, and before they even really started it and got into a full episode, they did a live. And Jay pretty much just like went off about how her and Cinco had broken up. It was wild, y'all. Like, I don't think anybody was ready because you remember Jay and Cinco were so perfect on the show and they were so protective. And of course, we're leaving together and all this stuff. So just to hear all of this, it was a lot. She said Cinco doesn't have a job. Cinco's broke. Cinco lives in the basement of his father's house. He was criticizing her parenting. He slapped her. Like, it was a lot. So I'm gonna walk y'all through some of the things that she talked about because it was so crazy. I was like, I gotta come to the people. But if you want to hear the whole thing, go to YouTube. They probably got Instagram and all the other stuff too, but go to YouTube and put in Two Sugars, One Shot, and you can see the whole entire interview. But it happened about probably 7 days ago, and it was alive. Okay. Man, so let's get into it, y'all. It was just so much. So one of the first things she said, you remember when we were on the reunion show, and she was like, yeah, Cinco, he comes every month and he sends flowers every week and all this type of stuff. So she says that every time Cinco would come to visit, he would expect her to cater to him the whole entire time. She says he would always complain that she wasn't showing him enough affection like she did when they were at the house. Okay. And I'm like, of course, reality TV, whenever you're living in some type of house or whatever, is going to be very different than regular life. When you're on those type of shows, I mean, there's nothing to do. It's not like you guys are getting up, going to work and come back. They're just there, right? Just with a lot of idle time. So of course you're going to be doing things that you probably wouldn't do in your regular life. And it almost made me think back to Brandon and Kiki. So you remember when Brandon was like, dang, you are drinking a lot. And Kiki was like, I'm on vacation. Would you not drink on vacation? And when she said it, I was like, that's a good point. That's a good point. So I guess Cinco didn't put two and two together that this was fake. The house was not real life. um, and Tatiana called her out on this too while they were on the live. She was like, that Cinco was the most catered to man in the house. She said, they said, Tatiana said that Jay would cook Cinco breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like she would get up, she would cook him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She was braiding his hair. We seen that multiple times, giving him massages, clipping his toenails, just all the stuff, right? So I guess Cinco was thinking, oh, bet. So when he went to go to her house in, oh, there's Chicago, Atlanta, one of them, and it wasn't like that, he was confusion. Okay. And one thing, y'all, my pastor told me when we were doing marriage counseling and I was about to marry my husband, Jermaine, one thing she told me that always stuck with me is you got to start out how you can hold out. Okay. And that you can really apply that to anything new you may start, whether it's a job, marriage, whatever. And what she meant was you got to start how you doing something that you can maintain. Okay. Don't start doing all this stuff and then you can't keep it up. You see what I'm saying? And the other person is looking at you like you switched something up. So that was some great advice. I didn't take it at the time. So we got married and I thought I was Miss Superwoman, right? So I was doing all the things. I was cooking and cleaning. I was washing and drying and folding and putting up clothes every other day and vacuuming and scrubbing and doing all the stuff. About 3 or 4 months in, I got mad. I was like, why am I doing everything? Why are you not helping me? And he like, wait, what you mean? You didn't ask. It like you was having fun doing all this. And so I didn't take her advice, but I very quickly seen what she meant. Just start out realistic, okay? And so I think this is what happened with Jay. I think she was doing way too much at that house because she had all that free time. And then when he came back, and she even said, she was like, I got a 9 to 5 hour work. She has a 5-year-old son. She was like, I got to get up. I got to get him dressed. I got to take him to school. I got to pick him up. I got to come back. I got to cook dinner. And she also said that she is a part-time basketball coach as well. So she was like, she doesn't have a lot of free time. So she was confused when he came there and he was doing all this complaining. Like, why are you not cooking for me? Why are you not doing this? She said one day she got back from, she had worked all day. She had to take the train. She had to do her coaching. And when she got back, she was like, dang, you couldn't have thrown my son in the shower or something? Like, what you been doing all day? So it sounds like they were just on two totally different pages. And they do have a little bit of an age difference too. So I'm wondering if that plays a factor. If I remember correctly, I think Jay is 30 and maybe Cinco's like 25, 26. So that could be a little bit of a difference too. And that she's a whole parent and he's not. So again, I think it was all good at the house because they didn't have any responsibilities. Same thing with Jared and Charlie, right? It was all good because they didn't have those 6 kids. But when you go back to your regular environment, you see what the real is. So be careful if you ever meet somebody on some type of show or even like on a vacation, you on a cruise and you meet somebody and it's all perfect and roses. You got to go back to your regular life. So that was the very first thing she said, that he was so upset because she wasn't waiting on him hand and foot like she did at the house. Then she said so she continued with this. And she said Cinco had too much free time on his hands because he doesn't have a job. So she was saying that he would come visit her with a plan to stay a couple of days. And sometimes that would turn into like a week or even 2 weeks because he didn't have a job. So he didn't really have anything to rush back to. She said he wanted to talk to her on the phone all day like they did in the beginning. You know how it is when you first talking to somebody. Y'all up every night till like 3 a.m. But she said, hey, once we got to know each other, once we came to the house, once we left the house, she felt like they knew each other well enough where they didn't need to still do that. So again, she's switching it up. She says that he had also had a lot of wild dreams. And his main dream centered around him making it pro. But she said he hadn't played pro in years. She says he just laid around the house all day hoping to hit it big on FanDuel. And then also she helped him to apply to over 400 jobs. This is a lot to break down, y'all. I don't know if y'all watch because it's on. I'm just saying this because it's on the same network. Somebody's son, and who does this sound like? Somebody's son. Remember, we talked about my boy Joshua. Same thing, same age as Cinco, I believe, around 26, something like that. And Joshua still identifies as an NFL player. And I told y'all I had like checked just to see because I'm like, dang, I follow NFL pretty closely, and I never heard of him. So I was like, let me check out his stats and see what's what. And he really don't be playing like that. He don't be getting in like that. Um, and like I said, commendable if you can make it to the pro level of any profession, right? So that's not what I'm saying. But he was identifying as an NFL player, but I was looking and he hadn't played in about 2 years and he was a free agent, doesn't have a team. And I was telling y'all, I was like, it's really hard to make the transition from being a player to civilian life and realizing when that dream is over. So that's what that made me think. And I think Cinco is going through the very same thing. The average career, y'all, because I know when we say somebody plays the NBA or NFL or whatever, we're thinking LeBron James, Stephen Curry, they're millionaires. They're going to play for 10, 15 years, but that's really not true. Like the average person, you just talking about like an average run of the mill player, the average career is about 3 to 4 years and you out of there. Most of the time you have a 1 year contract and you making about $500,000 and you fighting for your life to stay on that team, right? Because you got other grown men that also want to do this profession to feed their families. You see what I'm saying? So it's really cutthroat. The teams don't care. They just want the best player, so they if it ain't you, then you got to get out. You see what I'm saying? And so I think that's where Joshua in that other show and where Cinco is finding himself as well, just trying to scrape to try to get on a team. And I kind of feel, I have a soft spot in my heart for sports. So I can kind of feel Cinco. Like I said, if you play pro on any level, that means you've had to dedicate your life in another type of way that us average people really don't know about. You've had to eat a certain way. You can't just be out here eating whatever. You've had to work out like crazy, like a maniac, 2 days, 3 days. You've probably had to miss out on a lot of fun while your homeboys are doing this. You got to go to this camp, this weekend basketball camp or whatever, their whole lives has been centered around making it. You see what I'm saying? Everything from the time they were 5 or 6 is all about a camp. It's about meeting this person, getting up in the morning, working out, got to make the team. I didn't score enough. I got to do this. I got injured. Like everything has been centered around making it to the NBA, NFL. And so imagine when you're 26, you're 27, 28, and it's over just like that. Like how crushing, how devastating. Imagine whatever you're doing right now. Somebody said, can't do that no more. Whatever your passion is, whatever it could be, whether you like knitting blankets or doing makeup or hair or reading books, whatever it is that you find for fun that you love. If somebody said, that's it, can't do it no more, stop. Go find something else to do. So that's why I always feel for athletes that have to make that transition. And I feel like that's where Cinco is right now, especially since she said he hasn't played in 2 years. I think he is having a hard time realizing that dream may be up. And if you watch my mini thoughts with Dr.T, so if you go on my channel and go to those playlists, the very first video I tell kind of my story or whatever. And I love to hoop, right? So I've been playing basketball since I was 5 years old, as far back as I can remember. When I was in kindergarten, I got my first little Fisher Price hoop or whatever, right? So I thought I was gonna be in the WNBA for real. I was like, okay, bet, like I'm gonna play in the WNBA, of course. But I also shared on there, and I'm gonna share with y'all too, that I'm a vertically challenged individual, and I'm gonna try to say this without crying. I never grew after the 5th grade. And so I also had to come to terms with what I would do with my life once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to play in the WNBA. So I'm 5 feet, y'all. I'm not a little person, but I'm right there. I'm right there. And so I'll just joke it, but it did hurt me. I wish I could have hooped, but the height it eluded me for some reason. Um, but don't get it twisted now, because the jumper stays wet. The jumper stays wet, so I can always see you out on the court. So don't ever get it twisted like that. But thank God it didn't work out, y'all. I would have been in the WNBA making $20,000 a year. So, thank you, Lord, for that not working out. But anyway, back to what Jay was saying. So she was saying he got on her nerves because he would be at her house all day long doing nothing, playing FanDuel, which is gambling on sports games and stuff like that. And that made me think about another thing. When you're involved in athletics, another thing that it does is it provides structure. So they are always told what to do with their time. Okay. So when you're on a team, it's about time for the games to get started. You got camp, mini camp, OTAs, all this stuff. And they're like, okay, y'all, 9 a.m. breakfast, 10 a.m., we're going to meet offensive line, defensive line, whatever, 11 to 12. We're going to be in the gym. We're working out. Take a break, come back at 4. It's going to be film study. And then we're going to scrimmage. Saturday game is Saturday. Be here at 12 with your back. Like, they're always being told what to do. They don't really have to think too hard about their schedule or structure. So when a game is taken away, when that dream is taken away from them, it not only affects, what their goal and everything they wanted to do, it also affects their structure. And all of a sudden, they have all this free time and they don't know what to do with it. You see what I'm saying? Because they've always been given a schedule, and all of a sudden they wake up in the morning and they're like, so what am I supposed to do today? And this is not everybody, but I really feel like it's a lot. It's a lot of athletes that go through this, and because of that, you'll also find that a lot of them enter depression for real. And people might not understand it, like, what you mean, you got to play in the NFL and NBA, but it's hard to be that young, 24, 25, and it's over. Some people get a year and it's over, and they're trying to try out for teams. And I think that's what Cinco was doing, even when at the reunion when he left early. You're trying to try out for this one and that one, and they like, nah, or they might pick you up for a week and cut you. And it's just tough, man, realizing like, okay, I gotta stop chasing this. I gotta get a real job. It's over. So it takes a lot of that structure away. So when she was saying, he's just there all day, not doing anything with his time, I could see how that could work as well. So anyway, I'm not trying to cap for Cinco, but I do understand. I do understand that piece. And it's another thing too, y'all. Y'all gotta get some Boss water. So good. They're not paying me. I need to put some tape over that. This is another thing because her whole premise was that he still has these crazy dreams that he's trying to aspire to. And that's another thing that made me think of, what to do when you were trying to date somebody. How do you deal with their dreams that they have for themselves? And the thing about it, like me, I'm a dreamer, right? There is always something that I am aspiring to. And it's not in a situation where I'm always impatient or I'm not satisfied or content with my current life. It's not that, but what motivates me is that there's always something in the distance that I have my own that I'm working on. Like right now I'm working on writing my first book. I'm always going to be working on something, right? So that's also important to me when I'm dating somebody or looking to date somebody. I always want to know, like, what are your dreams? What is it that you see? What is it that you aspire to? Like, that's something that I always ask because I want to know, because I got to be able to get on board and support that, whatever that is. So if Cinco's like, oh yeah, I want to make a comeback. I want to get back in the NBA, then Jay needs to say, okay, now you haven't played in 2 years. I don't know if I could support that. I'm gonna move on, right? So you got to see everybody has something, right? I think everybody has something. I don't care how wild it is. Like, what is that thing that you see that's like that you're like, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to do X. Like, I'm always interested in hearing what people have to say about that because I want to dream, I want my partner to dream, and I want us to dream together. But just as important to that is also they have to have a 2 to 3 year plan as well. Okay. So, if I ask, what is your dream, whatever it might be, and they say, well, I don't really be dreaming. I'm just here at this here job. That's not gonna work for me. See what I'm saying? And then the reverse is the same way too. Like I want you to have a 2 to 3 year plan now. Okay. So also if I asked and they said, well, I'm working at McDonald's now, but you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be the next Denzel. So I ain't really worried about I can't have that either. Right. So I need a good balance. You need a realistic plan, but I also want you to dream a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person that I was looking for back in the day, when I was dating. So there's another real quick tangent because I just thought this was funny and y'all would get a kick out of this. When I met because I don't just be talking, y'all, I really be living this for real. So when I met my husband, we might have been dating for, I wouldn't say dating, talking for a week or two just to kind of see, to fill it out, kind of see what's what. And it was almost too good to be true, right? Everything was clicking. I was like, okay. All right, this could be a little something. He even went to church voluntarily. At the time, he was probably with a 26-year-old black man. And I was like, wait, you go to church by yourself? Like, you really be getting up on your own? Like, nobody comes over here on Sundays with a gun and makes you go. I was like, okay, I'm impressed. Okay. But anyway, so I asked him, everything was good. And I asked him, like, what are some of your dreams? Like, what do you see yourself? Like, what do you want to do? And he looked at me and said, I want to be a rapper. Then I said, oh, nah, a rapper? This is what I'm thinking in my head. I tried to keep a straight face at the time. I was like, I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true. And because when I think about rap, y'all, I think the worst. I think somebody like, yeah, because I'm going to shoot you in your head, then I'm going to shoot your mama and them, and we going to slide, and we going to all take drugs and Percocet, and we going to die, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think about when I think of rap music. And that's not my vibe. I'm not trying to hate on y'all. If that's your vibe, that's not my vibe. I can't listen to that type of music every day on a continuous basis. I hear, here and there, if it's something that's really popular or something, but I can't feed that to my soul every day. I just can't. So when he had told me that, I was like, dang it. But I said, all right, he was like, can I, let me, show you a song or let you hear a song or whatever. So I was like, all right, let me hear it. So I listened and whatever. He also produces too. So he produced the song and the beat and all that. So I listened. And he was actually very supremely talented. And not only that, he didn't have any vulgar lyrics. So I was like, okay. So I'm listening like, all right. And not only that, he never cursed. He never used any curse words. So I was very surprised. And again, I'm not against rap or rappers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what I did there. It's just the type of rap that I can't take. And so I was so happy that I asked him that, to know his dream, to know if I could get on board and support that. Okay. Cause that's very important to him. He's never going to stop doing that. So just he needed to know if I was on board with him as well with that. So because it was cool, I was like, okay, I think I can support you on this. I think I got your back. So yeah, that's why I just think it's really important to ask, because you got to know, because that part of them is never going to really die. And I'm just always in support, because one thing too, I never want anybody, not just my husband, anybody to just be like, well, I would have been something, but Tanisha, she stopped me. So anything he need within reason, if he like, man, my MacBook is getting old, I'm like, get another one. Or my beat machine, go ahead, you get it. Because I don't want nobody to say they was gonna be something, but because they didn't get that MacBook or whatever, I messed everything up. I hope you don't listen to this, y'all. Um, but yeah, so that's always my funny story on that. But like I said, he had a 9 to 5, a good one. We both at the time were working at Walmart, their corporate office in Bentonville, Arkansas. So, like I said, you got to have both. So I heard the dream. I wasn't really on board. I listened. I was like, cool. I can support. And but he had a 9 to 5 that he was going to faithfully every day as well. Okay. So it's really important to have both. Um, and also, and I'm gonna get off this. When we got married, it's funny because we're both very creative souls, and we decided to do a movie theme. Okay, we couldn't just do a movie theme. We actually had to have a movie. So we were like, let's do a music video because that's what he does, right? And I actually, your girl, I got like, he gave me like a line to rap in it. Okay. And it was hilarious at our wedding when we unveiled this video because I'm very introverted, if you know me in real life. And so nobody could believe that I was actually on this video rapping. So it was actually pretty funny when it happened in real time. And then for our 10-year anniversary, we decided to redo the video, right? Um, and so, same love, but things look a lot different after 10 years. We now had 2 kids at the time. And so we incorporated the kids in the video. And he gave me like 4 lines this time. So I'm getting better. And then, so we plan on doing it every 10 years just to show how, things change. Same love, but things change. And, I had another son last year. So in the next one, we'll have 3 sons. So it'll be fun to see how it changes as it goes on. If I have some time, I'll drop a couple clips in here right after I'm saying this. So if I have some time, I'll do that. And then I'll put the full clip for both of the videos in the description if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I meant it. Every single night, every single day with you, I'm glad we spent it. You're priceless to me, baby. Even Apple can't invent this.
I feel exactly how you do, kinda like we Siamese. You harvest everything I want, plus you supply my needs. This world is so cold, like 21 degrees. When it comes to unlocking my heart, Jermaine got the key.
I went from standing up in her presence to bended knee.
I'm handling business while I'm feeding Jalen baby juju. Living a dream and we a mean team, that's why I choose you. Watching a favorite show that my home's the Super Bowl. Grown a family true with black love, it's the super goals. Our purpose is something special, it's proven in prophecy. My heart is a Maserati, Jermaine still got the key. I don't need no mimosa, this vibe is intoxicating. Toast, we celebrating this run, Walter Payton.
10 years and anticipating avalanche of blessings, mixing immersion lessons, our future's waiting.
And then also another thing, shameless plug, my Many Thoughts with Dr.T series is coming back out August 1st. And the first episode that I'm going to be doing is all about dreams. Okay. I just think that's really important. I think as humans, sometimes we get so caught up in the rigmarole of life. Like we stop dreaming, like we stop thinking about that thing or that thing we were going to start or do or whatever it could be. So I just want to restir dreams and dreaming in people. So that's going to be my first episode if you're interested in that. All right, so to bring this back around, I think Cinco is still living off that dream, and I think he needs a short-term plan. I think that's where he might be missing it, okay? All right, so then Jay says that Cinco would talk about her parenting skills. He would say stuff like, let him be a kid, stop babying him. Then she says what really hurt her is she does not let men around her son. She doesn't let anybody introduce any men to her son. But Cinco was so adamant about how he wanted to be the little boy's dad that she just wanted to see how he would be around her son. But she did clarify that the little boy does have an active father. Okay. Y'all, it's just a lot. This whole live, y'all gotta watch it. It was a lot. I just think Jay is trying to have it both ways, and this was like the thread that I seen throughout this whole thing. And here it is again. It's like, oh yeah, I never do this. I never. It's like, but you are doing it. So it's just so weird. And I've never been in this situation, so I don't know, y'all. But I would think I would want to almost be at the point of engagement with a person before I introduce them to my children. I think, like I said, I don't know. I know some people could say, "Nah, you need to let them see your kids up front because what if them and your kids don't vibe and you wasting your time?" And I guess, but I just can imagine as a young child, you got people coming in and out, and you get attached to somebody, and the next thing you know, they gone. Or so I think I will wait until we're about 90% sure that we're gonna go through with this thing, before I start introducing them to my kids. Um, Definitely not if I'm just casually talking or dating. And then you got him coming to stay over your house for weeks at a time. It's like, Jay, and I don't never do this. You don't never do this, but you did it. But okay. And then Cinco, let me get on Cinco. It's like Cinco, you new here. You don't go here. You new here. You don't know the dynamics. You don't know how she is as a parent. You don't know how he is as a kid. You just don't know what's going on. You're not a parent yourself, so you have no even reference point about these things and these situations. So I think that was a bad look for Cinco as well, like to come and try to insert himself, into a situation. Um, and then that also made me think, like, okay, if let's say Cinco and Jay were to go further, it's like, would Cinco be able to discipline him? Or would he be so busy trying to be a buddy to the little son? You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you are gonna come in, and maybe this is wrong because I'm a disciplinarian at heart, y'all. Like, I have no problem being the bad cop at any time, okay? But I feel like if you're going to be a guy and you stepping in, I think you should step in and be like, hey, little man, listen to your mama. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Not too far, right? Because you do want the kid to like you. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I just thought that was bad on Cinco for doing that. And my whole thing, y'all, I never give anybody parenting advice unsolicited. I just don't. I tell people what I do with my kids. You see what I'm saying? But just because I do with my kids, that doesn't mean that it's the right thing. You see what I'm saying? And whatever I'm doing over here, then everybody need to be doing it. Like, I really stay out of all of that. Like, I listen when people tell me what's happening with their kids, what's going on. I listen, but I never like, well, girl, what you need to be doing is, and you need to stop, because you just don't know what's going on in people's dynamics. You really just don't. So I stay out of that. Um, like I said, my kids are gonna be taller than me by the time they're in the second grade. So I be over here having to lay the law down real early, So all my friends, they laugh at me because they think I be heavy on the discipline. But I'm like, listen, my 10-month-old is half my size. You know what I'm saying? So I even got to be checking him early. Like, listen, don't think you about to be in here running nothing. You see what I'm saying? Um, and I'm halfway joking, y'all. I love my kids. Um, Discipline plus love, I feel like that's the winning solution to raising kids. I feel like if you have too much love, they're going and no discipline, right? They end up spoiled and entitled. On the flip side, if you got too much discipline and not enough love, that leads to rebellion, and that's what a lot of us had to deal with. I think my age generation and back, because you think about like Joe Jackson and all that, like heavy on the discipline, not enough love, rebellion. You see what I'm saying? And so yeah, I think me and my husband do a good job of having enough discipline and enough love. Like they know we love them, but they also know don't ever try it. Don't ever try it up in here. Okay. Um, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, but Cinco was out of bounds. That's where I was going with that. Cinco was out of bounds on that, man. Like, you just can't get involved in people's parenting situations. You really can't. And the other thing I always tell people too, because some people are concerned about being their kid's friend, this whole thing. Little kids, they love unconditionally. They're so sweet. They really do. Now, it stops at a certain age, especially teenagers. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know when it stops. But my son is 7 and he's pretty much still like this. So maybe it stops at like 9 or something, 8, 9. But like I could chew him out about something and 5 minutes later he like, Mom, play PlayStation with me. Like they love unconditionally. So that's why I'm like, never be afraid of disciplining your young children. Some people think, well, if I tell them no, if I get on them, they gonna be mad, and it's like, no, they're really not. And so you don't have to worry about that. Now, like I said, it stops at a certain age, and they will hold grudges. But little kids, man, they need that discipline. They really do. All right, so moving on. Another thing she says is she says Cinco used to take her phone all the time and read her text messages because he is very insecure about himself because he's broke and he hates his teeth. This is what she's saying. She says one time he was going through her text messages and read texts that she sent to her cousin about how she wasn't attracted to Cinco and couldn't see herself with him long term. She says she likes darker skin, bigger dudes. And to her, Cinco, is light skinned, skinny, and funny looking and not her type. So obviously he was like, wait, what is this? And he confronted her about it. And she said she was really sad about that. Like she really felt messed up that she did that. She felt so terrible. And that's when they decided to really lock in and really give their relationship a shot because she felt so bad about it. Y'all, I said, are y'all both missing a screw? What is going on here? Cinco, why would you be with a woman that is telling other people that she don't even like you and is being very descriptive about it? You got bad teeth. You funny looking. Like she kept saying that throughout the live. Like, yeah, I don't even think he attractive like that. Jay, why would you be with a man that you don't like or find attractive or respect? Why did this situation bring y'all closer together and y'all like, oh, we really gonna lock in now? It's weird, y'all. At this point, I kind of stopped taking notes. It was above me at this point, but I'm gonna just read y'all the rest of this craziness. So just give me like 2 minutes, y'all, and I'm gonna try to keep a straight face. I'm gonna just look straight ahead the whole time. She says Cinco lives in the basement of his daddy's house. And that Cinco called her and was mad because his daddy went off on him and said he needs to do something with his life. She also says that shortly after the show, she received a DM from a young girl that said she had been sleeping with Cinco while they were all taping the show in LA. Jay says she thought it was no way that could have been possible because they were all in the same, hotel. And she figured maybe the girl was from a long time ago and was trying to get clout. But then the girl sent proof of her with Cinco. And Cinco could be heard saying that he got scouted to be on this upcoming show. So she knew then that he really had been cheating on her. She says Cinco fought hard to get her back and showed up at her house with balloons and everything. She decided to give him another chance because she knows that men can have sex without catching feelings, and she knew that he really didn't like that girl. Plus, she had been doing her own thing over the summer as well. She also gave him some money, and the next thing she knew, she said it was with some commas, so I guess that could mean like 1,000 or more. She said next thing she knew, she seen him on social media, and she seen that he was with another woman in Arizona, and he was with his best friend Torin that came on the show that we seen, and Torin's wife. So she said that's why she's so upset, and that's why she was doing all this airing out because she wants her money back. She also threatened to show a little bit of the video of him with that girl, and she kind of did show it a little bit. She says that Cinco slapped her one time in the car. She said she knows that her mouth, she got a smart mouth, but they were driving. She was in the passenger seat and he hit her and her head hit the window. And he said, I didn't mean to hit you that hard. And that also she has a lot of text messages where he that shows that she showed her friends of names he would call her. So she said that he's very verbally abusive and physically. I don't know what's happening. And then finally Tatiana was like, well, dang, Jay and Kiki, they were like, well, dang, you made Cinco out to be the perfect guy. Everybody thought Cinco was the perfect guy and that he could do no wrong. But Jay says he's the worst kind of guy because he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, because he's laid back, quiet, but he's very calculated. And Tatiana said that, Jay and Cinco had them all fooled. And, oh yeah, and then Jay said, what y'all don't know is that I was taking Cinco into the closet every day and cussing him out. I guess while they were on the show. She was taking him in the closet every day, cursing him out and let him know that she don't need these little checks from this show, but he do, and she don't need to be around these people, and she could leave. It was a lot, y'all. And so just to bring this all together, to shut this down, it's just like I think Jay likes to perform. I think she likes to give the illusion that things are okay when they're really not. Because it's like you're on a reality TV show. That is the whole entire point. We want to see the drama. So why are you taking him into a closet, cussing him out, and doing all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Um, and then the other thing, she's one of those types who's like, yeah, because he thought I was the one. I ain't the one to mess with because, girl, I don't be playing that. But I'm like, Jay, you are the one. You are that girl that you're talking about. You're exactly that woman. You told us about domestic violence. You told us he took your money. You told us he got you looking crazy. You catering to him left and right, hand and foot, braiding hair, taking out gray hairs. But yet he cheating on you, criticizing your parenting, doesn't have a stable career, is freeloading, staying with you for weeks. You applying to 400 jobs for him. You're that girl, sis. Like that would be you. So he played you. You look crazy. This is one of those things where you cut off your nose to spite your face. Like she's so busy trying to sling mud on Cinco. But I'm looking at her like, why are you with him again? Like you look real crazy right now. And she was so worked up. She was cursing the whole time. It was a complete mess. So yeah, y'all. I thought we were done with this show. But when I was looking at something else, and when I seen that they said they had broken up, I was like, what? Because I thought y'all was just a perfect couple. And there's no such thing, y'all. That's really the point of this. Everybody has their stuff. But yeah, just disappointed in Jay. Like, why? That was a long list of stuff. So I'm like, you're trying to act like you so above it, but it's like, nah, because if you was above it, you would have cut bait like a long time ago. Like that's you, that's who you are. So I'm hoping she can watch that video back and really take some self-evaluation about herself. But anyway, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I just wanted to come on and share that with y'all. Um, oh yeah, and also, should I say this? I think I'm gonna do it. But it's been announced that Ready to Love is coming back August 1st. So what I was gonna do, because I don't remember them characters like that, y'all characters, they're real people. I don't remember those people like that. And so what I was gonna do was just do just a short recap of the episodes. And so I'm gonna see if I can sneak one in this week. I was gonna do episode 1 and 2, not a play by play, but just help jog our memories of like the overall themes from those episodes. Because I can't remember. Maybe y'all can remember. I mean, it came on like Valentine's Day. But anyway, don't get me started. But anyway, I will see y'all in the next video. Okay, see ya.